Hey, Kyrie. Obviously, there's been a lot of conversation about fan interaction with players, and then there was an instance tonight. I'm just wondering what you think can be done to prevent these interactions from happening in the future.
It's unfortunate, that sports has come to a lot of this, kind of crossroads where you're seeing a lot of old ways come up. It's been part of that. It's been that way in history in terms of entertainment performers and sports for a long period of time, of just underlying racism and just treating people like they're in a human zoo, throwing stuff at people, saying things. There's a certain point where it just gets to be too much. So, I called it out. I just wanted to keep it strictly basketball. And then you just see that people just feel very entitled out here. They pay for the tickets. Great. I'm grateful that they're coming in to watch a great performance, but it's just, we're not at the theater. We're not throwing tomatoes and other random stuff at the people that are performing. It's too much. And it's a reflection on, us as a whole when you have fans acting like that. So, hopefully people learn their lessons from being banned for however many years of being arrested. But, there's always going to be an occasion. So.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate that this season even has to be asked, but someone tried to toss a water bottle at Kyrie, or did toss a water bottle at Kyrie as you guys were walking off the floor. Just your thoughts on just, again, an unfortunate act, and the fan was arrested, but just what can be done about, again, protecting players in situations like this?
I mean, fans got to grow up at some point. I know that being in the house for a year and a half with the pandemic, got a lot of people on edge, got a lot of people stressed out. But when you come to these games, you got to realize, man, these men are human. We not animals. We not in a circus. You coming to the game is not all about you as a fan. So have some respect for the game. Have some respect for these human beings, and have some respect for yourself. Your mother wouldn't be proud of you throwing water bottles at basketball players, or spitting on players, or tossing popcorn. So grow the fuck up and enjoy the game. It's bigger than you.
Kyrie, could you just walk us through what happened? I mean, did the fan yell at you? Did the bottle hit you? What happened?
It doesn't matter, honestly, Malika. It's just these actions, like I said, are historically relative. When you think about just where we've come as a sport, it used to happen back in the day. A lot of older players went through it, and any great person, great entertainer, performer understands that when you're achieving something bigger than yourself, you're gonna have a lot of adversity, animosity. And you just got to figure out a way to deal with it. So tonight, I think we collectively dealt with it. Anything could have happened with that water bottle being thrown at me, but, my brothers were surrounded around me. I had people in the crowd. So just trying to get home to my wife and my kids.
You mentioned, treating you as human, which should be a basic right. I'm just wondering what you would want folks who feel entitled to do that to know about how that makes you feel.
Well, we keep saying things like we're human, but we don't get treated like we have rights when we're out there at times, and people feel entitled to go and do things like that. We claim that we care about each other as human beings, but, we just call things out before they happen, like I did the other day. And like I'm telling people, just keep it basketball. And then you have things that happen at the Garden. You got things happening in Utah, and there's a lot of history there of things happening. So just do your research. I would say to everybody, and hopefully the respect of the game is kept at a high level moving forward.
There's been a lot of talk, unfortunately, about unruly behavior from fans this postseason. And then tonight, someone throws a water bottle at Kyrie. Just your reaction and what more can be done to protect players.
I mean, it's really unacceptable. Like, these fans should come in and boo or cheer or do whatever they got to do. But just, throwing things and the disrespectful language and it's ridiculous at this point. I don't know. There's some got to be enforced, with the NBA as far as fans. Like, somebody has to be made an example. I don't think just banning fans, from the arena is good enough, because continuous, you see different arenas, fans continue to do it. So, something has to be put in place.
Hey, James, I got two quick ones for you. Just to clarify, did you see the fan throw the water bottle at Kyrie, or you didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, Kyrie, I was just wondering before that water bottle was unfortunately thrown at you, what did you feel in the crowd these two nights? Did you feel that racism or subtle racism that you had warned about, or had they pretty much kept it strictly about basketball until that incident as you were walking off?
Well, like I said, I've been in some hostile environments where a lot of things have been said to me, a lot of things have been done to my teammates, or I've experienced some type of subtle racism that I'm referring to, where it's just underlying throughout the game. The things that they're saying is not necessarily about talent or gifts. It's just more or less about moms or what you look like, or they're calling you out of your name. And like I said, I joined this sport because I loved it. And inevitably, you're going to have opposing fans do things that are going to help their team win. They love being involved. I don't want to take away that nature. It's just when you feel disrespected as a person, man or woman, and someone calls you out your name or does something like that, it doesn't make you feel good. And then when you react, and we had times in history where people have reacted and gone in the crowd, then we're wrong. And we need to be civilized, and we need to keep our calm, and we need to keep our cool, and then it's reflected on us. So, like I said, just want to keep it upfront and truthful. And it's just, unacceptable for that stuff to be happening. But we move on.
Harry, kind of piggybacking off Malika's question, James just said before you joined us that he doesn't think that banning fans does anything with this stuff because it continues to happen, and he'd like to see the process change with all this. I'm curious if you have a thought on that.
Yeah, I think each one of us have our own individual experiences, but as a black man playing in the NBA, dealing with a lot of this stuff is fairly difficult, because you never know when it can happen or what's going to happen at the end of the game or before the game. So banning fans, I get the objective, but at the same time, it doesn't stop people from running on the court. I've had situations in Cleveland where people have run on the court. I've had situations so often throughout my career where, we don't really talk about it because we want to be mentally tough. We want to be tough-minded. We don't want to be called soft or we're not man enough to deal with boos. And, fans never block my shot. So I'm not worried about that type of physical, type of violence. It's just, when they start doing things that are just out of character, just getting belligerently drunk. And, that's just what sports is. You mix drunk people out in the crowd that are cheering for their team. You have some fans that are there to watch the quality of the game. And then you have a mix of in between. And then you got this intermixing. And then now we don't know who's who. But like I said, I just want to move on from this, man. I've dealt with it as a player here as a Celtic of different things. And now being an opponent again, I just want to move on.